Why am I missing 20 copies of Abraxas starring Jesse the Body Ventura? I know, I'll check the security tapes. Yep, Jesse Ventura strikes again. He's outside burning the tapes in an illegal dumpster fire.
Illegal dumpster fire? You better not be talking about my post-gubernatorial career, brother.
Wow, the sound and video quality of this new security camera is really taking me out of the moment.
Really? I'm kind of an exhibitionist. Where can I get this camera?
By checking out today's sponsor, Verizon Special Offer. Click the link in the description, fill out your info, find an item to purchase, including the Canary Flex camera, and the first 100 purchases will get a free gift that's perfect for AVGN fans. The gift is the all-new 8-disc AVGN BFG collection, and a signed poster from the nerd himself.
Oh wow, so I buy a Verizon tech thingy, and I get a Blu-ray set and signed poster for free?
It seems so, but only for US residents, shipping in mid-February.
Can you sign me up, brother? I'm kind of fading from these poisonous plastic fumes.
Sorry, but you gotta click the link in the description for yourself, Jesse. Jesse? Anyway, let's see what James is up to in the other store.
Welcome to Cinemassacre Video, where selection is the name of the game. And with so many movies to select, I'm putting in a little overtime. That's right, it's after hours, and I want to talk about some more movies, ones I love or find interesting. And here and there, I'll discuss some broader film topics. Let's go. Today I want to spotlight a classic that I love, The Maltese Falcon, starring Humphrey Bogart and directed by John Huston, based on the novel by Dashiell Hammett. It's never been reviewed on Cinemassacre before, even though it lives happily somewhere on my long list of all-time favorites. I'm not alone. It often makes it onto greatest film lists and has its place in film history as the quintessential film noir. Film noir is an interesting term in itself. Its definition is still being debated. I would say it's more like a style or a subgenre within the crime genre. It was first used by French critics, which meant black film, to refer to darker films, meaning literally dark with gloomy lighting, but also darker content and cynical storylines and corrupt characters. They're typically crime thrillers or murder mysteries, but there's no agreed upon consistent elements that appear in all film noir. In retrospective, film noir often refers to a period in film history beginning with The Maltese Falcon in 1941 and debatably ending somewhere in the 50s, many say with Orson Welles' Touch of Evil. I would argue that the gangster films of the 30s fall under this category, like Public Enemy, the original Scarface, and Little Caesar. Not to mention, there were also two pre-existing versions of the Maltese Falcon, one in 1931 and another in 1936, called When Satan Met a Lady. But whatever the case, the 1941 version is the staple of the crime genre and ushered in a new era. The plot in a nutshell. Bogart plays Sam Spade, a private investigator who's hired by a woman named Wonderly to protect her sister from a man named Thursby. Sam sends his partner Miles out on the case, but he's shot to death, and afterwards, so is Thursby. Sam becomes a suspect in the killings, but from there, things get more complicated when he's approached by Joel Cairo, played by Peter Lorre, who thinks he has possession of a priceless statue, which the movie's named after. Next thing, Sam goes further down the rabbit hole, investigating Miss Wonderly's true identity, her real intentions, and connects the dots between all these gangsters and, at the very center of it all, the Maltese Falcon, which they all want and are willing to kill for. Now let's talk about why this movie's so great. I want to admit, the first time I saw it, I wasn't exactly in love with it. I thought it was just okay, and only found it interesting for its historical value. I noticed the tremendous influence it had on the film industry. I had no doubt Indiana Jones was partially inspired by the character Sam Spade and his retrieval of priceless artifacts sought after by gangsters. I noticed spoofs that I had seen as a kid, like the Ninja Turtles episode, The Maltese Hamster, and it's moments like these when you see the original source and think, oh yeah, that's where they got that from. Also, Maltese Falcon? Millennium Falcon? References to the Maltese Falcon are endless, and even more so, references to Humphrey Bogart and Peter Lorre, who became caricatures in too many Looney Tunes shorts to count. Along with Casablanca, Maltese Falcon certainly helped cement their faces into the status of cinematic legend. But the first thing I didn't like, at first, was that most of the plot happens off camera. We hear about the character Thursby so much, but we never actually see him. There's so many events that get discussed that happen before Sam gets involved, but I've come to realize that that's a big part of the crime genre, and especially with murder mysteries. We see the story unravel through the eyes of the detective. But still, it's full of talky exposition, and that's what turned me off the first time. Every scene is loaded with dialogue. There's not much visual storytelling. And sure, there are a few great noir shots, like when Sam picks up the phone in the dark in front of those blowing window curtains, but it's mainly told with words. You can listen to the movie without actually looking at it and still understand everything that's happening. Of course, you would miss all those great facial expressions and subtext, but my gripe was that the story is better suited as a radio play. In fact, it has been performed on radio many times, and often with the voice of Bogart and lots of the other cast of the movie. And so, well, the movie, it's like a radio play. That's just what it is, and what it is the best of its kind. But I still haven't answered the question why it's so great. Well, simply put, Humphrey Bogart. Sometimes it really does have everything to do with its star power. Bogart is so good in this role, there's nothing I can say to do it justice.
Now you are dangerous.
He's your classic tough guy, a precursor to Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones and Han Solo. When Cairo holds Sam up with a gun to search his office for the Falcon, he manages to take the gun off him and knock him out. But he never had the Falcon, so wouldn't it be easier to just let him search? The reason is just because he doesn't like it when someone points a gun at him.
Why don't you sit around here and let people come in and stick me up?
How badass is that?
You always have a very smooth explanation ready, huh?
What do you want me to do, learn to stutter?
He's full of wisecracking comebacks, and for a movie that's full of rapid-paced dialogue, at least the dialogue is consistently awesome and full of unforgettable quotes like, "When you get slapped, you'll take it and like it."
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
He doesn't show much emotion, even after his partner's killed. The way he plays it so cool is partially what makes him a suspect with the police, and no matter what kind of trouble he's in, he stands his ground and even offers the police a drink. With his stone-cold manner, one could argue the character doesn't have much emotional depth, but it's that hardened shell that becomes so fascinating. The shell that asks how much could he have suffered in the past that made him so immune. He's a heavy drinker, a loner, and above all, a flawed human being. He's having an affair with his partner's wife, more prominent in the novel, which shows that no one, not even our protagonist, is honest and righteous. Peter Lorre also must be given his dues for the role of Cairo. He has a nervous, unhinged quality.
Canada found out how valuable it was.
And the way he delivers the lines, I can see some similarities to the head Nazi character in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
What is the phrase? No questions will be asked.
He also is positively, without any doubt, the inspiration for Ren in Ren and Stimpy. His temper tantrum, spouting words like stupid and idiot, are completely spot on.
You imbecile! You bloated idiot! You stupid fathead! You...
With or without the connection, it's still a really funny moment in itself. Every time I watch it, it always somehow catches me by surprise. Like nobody else ever loses their cool so much. I mean, he just flies so far off the rails it seems impossible. With a whole movie of excellent cast members, I can't forget about Sidney Greenstreet as the head gangster, Gutman. With so many expositional lines to deliver, telling the history of the Falcon and everything, it could have easily fallen flat with a less talented actor. But this guy does such a good job and sounds so natural that I just hang on to every word.
But a glorious golden falcon, crusted from head to foot, and the finest jewels in their covers. Nelson, what do you think of that?
With lots of dialogue to pull off, it's always dynamic, full of energy, and fun to listen to. The way the characters interact is like one big poker game, which no one says what they really mean. So, I've made my point. Great acting, great lines, but what is it that makes me keep coming back to this movie? Why has it grown on me so much? Well, I think it may be because of the Falcon itself. It's a treasure. It's like the Holy Grail. It's the stuff that dreams are made of.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
It's the idea of a material object, a thing of greed that is so sought after that characters put over human life. Yet Sam, our protagonist, is the only one who doesn't actually want it, and that may be his only redeeming factor. It also makes me ponder the idea of owning a valuable item, such as a rare video game. And the question I always ask is, when is having the item more important than having the money one would pay for it? While the Maltese Falcon doesn't actually exist, and even in the movie it's just a plot device when the rest of the film is about so much more, it still seems like something that could exist. So I leave you with, the Maltese Falcon is your pure definition of classic, a product of Hollywood's golden age with unforgettable faces, unforgettable quotes, and a legendary dark criminal world. Check it out.
Go ahead. I won't stop you.